killed that girl, didn't you, Ray? And he said, I killed all of them.
A chilling admission almost 40 years ago from Raymond Lassor. He was later convicted of violently killing and sexually brutalizing 3 women. He also attacked and left a teenager for dead. Raymond Lassor was given Rhode Island's first ever sentence of life without parole, a rare and severe punishment that's still on the books, but there have been efforts to get rid of it.
Yeah, in fact, in this legislative session, lawmakers have proposed a bill to eradicate the sentence for young offenders. NBC 10's I-Team reporter Tamara Sacharczyk goes inside the investigation of the case that shaped the state's toughest penalty.
It was a scary time in the city of Providence.
June 1984. A young woman is found dead in a vacant lot beside a construction site. 22-year-old Lori Carlucci. But it's what the medical examiner uncovers that shocks investigators.
He thought she had a broken clavicle. And upon him looking at it further, it wasn't the clavicle, it was a stick, a big, large piece of plywood.
They were details that shook seasoned investigators, like now retired Providence police detective Stephen Cross.
I've never experienced something that graphic and with that much force.
And that murder was just the beginning.
Shortly after that, it was actually in the middle of August, we had another murder. Her name was Wanda Sue Adams. She was a beautiful 18-year-old girl from South Carolina. 2 weeks later, we had a woman who was stomped to death in the Parkade shopping parking garage.
In a span of 3 months, 3 victims are found within a 1-mile radius. It's clear that a serial killer is on the loose in Providence. Weeks after that last murder, a teenage girl survives a brutal beating and violent rape at Roger Williams Park. She helped track him down.
Absolutely.
For the first time, Lassor tells police he lived with a man named Bud Gilligan.
We just said bingo.
That last name was embroidered on a towel found under the first victim.
I said, you killed that girl, didn't you, Ray? And he said, I killed all of them.
One by one, Lassor confesses to each killing in excruciating detail.
Each and every one of them, I mean, it was a full description of it.
When he described them, no emotion?
No emotion.
Lassor was charged with the first-degree murders of Lori Carlucci, Wanda Adams, and Dolores Newser, and the rape of that teenage survivor. Jeffrey Pine prosecuted the case, helping to hand down a historic sentence.
The life without parole statute was passed earlier in the year in 1984, and then just by coincidence, this happened in the summer of 1984, so he became immediately eligible as the first person to face that kind of penalty.
What was that like for you prosecuting this case?
Very satisfying, very gratifying.
Lassor became the first person in the state to be sentenced to life without parole.
I think it's an extraordinary sentence to give somebody, but I think, in this case, it's certainly appropriate.
There have been attempts, most recently in 2022, to abolish life without parole. What do you think about that?
I think that's a big mistake.
Behind that bill, Portsmouth Rep. Jay Edwards.
Well, I've always been against the death penalty, and if this life without parole is effectively the death penalty.
Edwards proposed the bill 2 sessions in a row, but then a change of heart.
I went back and did some research on several of the inmates and found out that if you're going to have life without parole, the people I read about are the people you definitely want to have life without parole for.
To date, 35 inmates in Rhode Island have been sentenced to life without parole.
The state of Rhode Island uses it very sparingly. They use it for only the really heinous crimes.
Those 35 inmates will remain behind bars until the day they die, including Lassor.
In your opinion, can people like Lassor be rehabilitated?
Not in my opinion, no. These are people who are sociopathic killers. You're not going to change their behavior other than locking them up and confining them.
I think people who think that, who may think that everybody can be saved, I think maybe this type of story might give them pause.
Steve Cross visited Lassor in prison. He believes he committed crimes in other states and wanted to get confessions. He tells me while Lassor never admitted to killing other women, he also never denied it. Lassor's now 65 years old. He remains in maximum security at the ACI. For the NBC 10 team, I'm Tamara Sacharczyk.